Beta Minecraft has been getting a lot more attention lately, and with that, a few new questions arise. New beta redstoners might ask themselves what redstone even is. PvPers might feel confused or nostalgic, or they might just fall over and die. The new beta explorers are gonna wonder why they can't have these epic mountains in modern Minecraft. But what will the builders do? We might ask ourselves, what is building again? Building in beta, in comparison to newer versions, is not fundamentally different. You break, you place. But there are still some differences to keep in mind. In beta 1.7.3, the version that this video is based on, you got about 200 different items, but only half of them are actual blocks that you can build with. Only 100 blocks means that you are very limited on block palettes, but that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. We'll get to that later in the video. Super tall builds are also not possible because the build limit is 128 blocks. What people sometimes forget is that this world height includes the underground terrain of the world. That means only about 50% of it is actually air. And if you build on a mountain, it's even less. You could try to terraform the terrain to be lower so you could simulate taller builds, but it would definitely be a lot of work. There are also a few smaller differences. For example, the bottom of a stair block always faces down. That means they cannot be placed upside down like in modern versions. That obviously makes them a bit harder to use in specific situations. Slabs are very similar, they can only be placed on the lower half of a block. The game actually places them there automatically even if you clicked on the upper half. That can be confusing and a bit annoying at times. Fences can be placed wherever they are needed, but when building a pillar of fences they need to be placed from bottom to top, because the game doesn't let you place fences in the air. There are also some differences in how the game looks. Torches give off a cooler toned light than their modern counterparts. Redstone torches glow a lot more in beta, which can be used in really cool ways. So, you understand. Beta Minecraft is a very bare-bones version of the game we call Minecraft today. And I know that some of you already had that question when the video started. Why even build in beta in the first place? When this is so limited and you don't even have creative mode. Yeah, you don't have creative mode, I forgot to mention that. Then why even build in this version? Obviously for everyone the answer is gonna be a bit different. The answer that I mainly give is challenge. I think that humans need at least a bit of challenge to have fun at whatever they're doing. And limitations in blocks, colours and space can make us more creative. I've been playing Minecraft for a decade now, and I feel so much that modern Minecraft doesn't really feel challenging anymore. Obviously, it can be really great to have endless blocks because you can just make whatever you want. But that always kinda overwhelms me a little bit. Obviously, that's just my own opinion, but I'm sure you might have a similar story. Here is where it gets just a little bit complicated because I can't know what you want to build. But I can try to give you some tips and inspiration. Also, I put some timestamps in the description so you can skip around to the parts that you actually need. It is important that before you start building that you think of what type of terrain you want to build in. If you want to build a snowy castle, then build in a snow biome. Makes a lot of sense, right? Obviously, these are just suggestions and not rules. You could also switch the biomes around and see what happens. This is a bit more specific. Instead of thinking of a build and then looking for a spot to build it, find a spot and then think of the build. Try to use the world around you to get inspired. If you see a cool mountain, then maybe build a mountain base. If there's nothing but ocean around you, maybe try building an ocean base. If you want to plan out your build very much, then you can try to make a layout on the floor before building. The shapes that you need the most for that are squares and circles. Here is a quick little circle tutorial. If you already know this or you don't want to build a layout, then you can skip ahead to this timestamp. How to build a circle. There are two methods to this, but I'm only going to talk about one of them. The counting method. You build a short line, preferably an odd numbered one, like 3 blocks, 5 blocks, or 7 blocks long. Then you go to the end of that line and build another line so that the corners of both ends touch. That second line is going to be 1 block shorter than the first one. You continue that until you end up with just 1 block. You can now decide if you want to continue with single blocks and how often. When you have enough single blocks, you can start making the lines longer again, but in the other direction. The less single blocks you add, the more the circle will look like a rounded off square. How to detail. You can use stairs, slabs, fences, buttons, even trapdoors and pressure plates. The bigger you make a build, the more space you have for details. If you build a very large build, then it is even possible to detail with full blocks. Look at that! That's why it can be very important to decide on a scale for the build before you actually start building.
I've always understood the term texturing in two ways. Either it's adding noise to a surface, or it's actually coloring a surface. So going in, using gradients with blocks that look like a color from a distance.
I know that's probably not something one would think about when talking about building in beta, but let me tell you, it is possible. I sorted all the blocks from white to black, and I also sorted a lot of the blocks in rainbow color. Like I said a lot in this video already, yes, this is very limited, but you can do some really cool things just with this.
Block palettes are very easy to do in beta.
So I just thought about using bedrock for my block palette because it was just fitting very nicely. I don't know how to break it now, so
Oh, if you don't know what a block palette is a collection of blocks you decide to use for a build. Most people will lay them out on the floor. That's where beta makes it really simple, because if you only have 100 blocks, then it's very easy to choose some of them. You can use light in your build to make certain parts stand out more. That obviously only works at nighttime or underground. Here are some examples on how to use it. You can use it on the corner of a build, or on the roof, or inside. You can also make some really cool things just with redstone torches. Spooky eyes. This thing.
in my opinion, this is why beta is so cool to build in. You know how we collectively decided that a stair with 2 signs on the side is supposed to represent a chair? Beta is full of those. Black wool on top of a line of bookshelves and a painting stuck to it can be a TV. This is a sofa. These are some fancy curtains, and this is a carpet. We still do that in modern Minecraft, but in beta you do it so much. If you show someone your build and they ask you, what is that? And you go, ah yeah, that's a radio. And they go, ah, now I see it. That's just the coolest thing. So, if you want to, then use your imagination to build these little things. It can help to make your build feel a lot more alive. Taking inspiration from this video or other things can be the most important thing. Try to see what is possible with enough time and effort, but also make sure that you focus on what you want to do and have fun with it. It can sometimes be very hard, especially in the time of the internet, to not compare what you're doing with someone else, and therefore think you're doing something wrong. That's not true though. Building in Minecraft is very subjective. You might enjoy building something that other people don't enjoy, and that's okay. That's what makes you unique.
And that's what I think a good build actually is. It doesn't matter if it looks like a dirt hut. If the build was made with fun and passion, then who cares how it looks like? So, with all of that said, go and make some good builds.